Okay, which belief should be questioned in life? Generally speaking, all beliefs may be regarded as valid in their own particular context, as each one is a given interpretation of the absolute reality that can never be accurately or objectively measured. The concept of reality is only a subjective phenomenon. Therefore, there is no such thing as an absolute or reliable general truth. However, we could say that if things in life are not working well for an individual, then the root causes of such perceived reality can be directly attributed to certain beliefs that are not serving that individual well. In other words, if you are struggling to sustainably meet our needs, if you feel compromised to intelligently interact and respond to our changing environment, then we need to consciously narrow down those beliefs that are causally responsible for such behavior shortfalls. We then need to generally examine them and appropriately change them to create a new reality for ourselves. Disregard of the level of conviction we may hold for our existing beliefs, or what we may think about their appropriateness in our lives, it is always in our best interest to truthfully question their legitimacy and validity, especially if they appear to have negative or limiting consequences on our opportunities in life. We need to keep an open mind on all potential outlooks and concepts that may capture our attention in this world, and see them all as possible candidate beliefs for intelligent evaluation and selection. And as much as possible, we must resist the emotional urge for hasty dismissal of contrasting views we encounter. We should not conveniently hang on to what we currently know or feel attached to as the ultimate truth, as this will limit our options. The unbiased assessment of our reality will help us to create an intelligent basis for all our daily activities and endeavors. It is always liberating to prove to ourselves that we are in pursuit of a moving and ever-changing truth, rather than feeling ignorantly stuck in a fixed fantasy or socially borrowed position. We need to openly investigate our beliefs in order to ensure we are intelligently informed and behaving responsibly for our own personal sake and the sake of our families and the larger community. Look at the world of chaos around us. And it is all because people are unconsciously driven to fight tooth and nails for their borrowed perspectives, for things such as my social, political or religious views are better or bigger than yours. We literally are killing one another ignorantly for our never questioning beliefs. How sad and ignorant is that? We need to question our beliefs rationally and objectively, rather than emotionally justifying their unconscious hold on us, or worse, legitimize their unconditional existence. We must refuse to take the least resistance path in our investigation. As best we can, we need to investigate the circumstances in which our beliefs were established and formed as our internal binding reality. We must question if they were based on mature assessment of the situation at the time, and if they were sensibly based on plausible set of facts. What are the consequences of blindly following or accepting our beliefs? For example, you may establish a biased belief when you are 2 years old, and such a belief can innocently drive you to perceive and act ignorantly for your entire life, and consequently cause you untold amounts of avoidable sufferings. If such a biased belief is intelligently identified early in a piece, questioned and addressed promptly, you may potentially prevent yourself from many years of unnecessary pain and missed opportunities. It is always wise to question our level of maturity and the information that we considered at the time when we drew our life-influencing conclusions and established our life-lasting beliefs. Whatever mental configurations we may choose to embrace and come to accept as a reality will ultimately influence and drives us day in, day out, and for the rest of our lives. For example, if I have a fear of certain social situation, I owe it to myself to liberate myself by knowing more about the reason for my limiting attitude. I should be seriously curious to know the validity of my underlying beliefs that support such a negative behavior. I need to question when I form such debilitating views and what level of wisdom or maturity applied in supporting such views in the first place. I should question myself, how old was I? What did I actually know about life at the time? And how broad was I in my vision of understanding my subjective reality? If I have adopted certain beliefs in the way I judge certain group of people, or the way I easily become annoyed by their behaviors or certain situations, it is in my best interest to discover if such views were intelligently made. I need to pause and question if I'm just blindly acting out on my limited reality without fully understanding the actual root causes for my negative behaviors and the causal consequences of my action on my personal life and other lives that I directly impact. Now let's look at how do we end our daily struggles. How do we actually go about that? Well, changing beliefs in the way we interact in life means that our life experiences will also change accordingly. Then, if you are currently struggling with life in our current mindset, our struggle will end if we use different mindset. As simple as that. The only way our daily struggles may be addressed is certainly not by us continuing with what we have done up to now. That's not going to help us. The problem can only be remedied by us doing something different. And in order to do that, first we need to change our current beliefs that drive our current behavior. Therefore, lest we allow ourselves to consider the broader range of potentials and perspectives and candidate beliefs, less evolve we become as an individual, as a community, or as a nation. It is bad enough to be totally sold on views that we currently hold, to have a strong faith or a strong belief that capture our essence, and believe in those things as the ultimate definition of the truth on our reality. It is far worse to bitterly fight over such beliefs and alienate others around ourselves. Disregard of how right we may think we are with our current beliefs and how much we hanging on to them, they're only a set of possibilities. And if we do that, we naturally limit our overall potentials in life by excluding other sets of possibilities. So we owe it to ourselves to become curious about how we are driven and how we may change ourselves going forward in life. Thank you very much.